Toronto-based Vimy Pharma was founded last year by two former executives at Novo Nordisk. Now, there's a race among drug makers to deliver a generic form of the blockbuster drug Ozempic. Vimy is a new entrant to the field, and it aims to produce a Canadian version in this country. We are joined by Dave Suchon. He is the co-founder and CEO of Vimy Pharma. Good for you.
Thanks, Andy.
I guess
nice to be here.
The name couldn't be more Canadian. That was the famous battle in World War I.
Exactly. That was a big inspiration for us. Looking back in history, this is a moment, some call it the birth of a nation, when we fought nationwide in an amazing battle, and this was an inspiration to us, along with all the great research and development that's come out of Canada, like Banting and Best and Collip, who discovered insulin, as well as the work of Dr. Dan Drucker that did some seminal research in the pathway to discovering this class of GLP-1 drugs.
Just remind us what the semaglutide drugs are. So they mimic a hormone in the body?
That's correct. So there's a naturally occurring hormone. These drugs are all basically versions that last a lot longer than the typical hormone would in your body. The typical hormone would disappear in a matter of minutes, I believe, whereas these drugs persist for a longer period of time, and they can have different actions. And we see benefits to blood glucose lowering, weight loss, of course, cardiovascular health, and they're being studied for really a myriad of other amazing potential indications. This is great work that companies like Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly have undertaken.
We've all heard that this hormone gives you a feeling of fullness.
That's satiety, yes.
But there's other effects?
Yeah. Many. Like I said, blood glucose lowering, originally discovered as a treatment for type 2 diabetes, and that's in fact what Ozempic is indicated for, is the treatment of type 2 diabetes. Now there's another formulation called Wegovy, which is a similar version. It's an up concentration that's also effective for weight loss. So it's pretty important products. Very important here in Canada. We're talking a product that's used by almost 1 million Canadians now.
And one form of semaglutide drug or another?
Yes, that's right. It's a big market in terms of dollars. We're talking between Ozempic and Wegovy closing in on about $3 billion in retail sales in Canada.
Your plan is to manufacture the stuff right in this country?
That's right. Canadian through and through, from name through to our ownership. We've got great partners. Canadian investment firm K2 is our major financing partner. That's a multi-strategy hedge fund based in Toronto. It was founded by Sean Kimmel. We were inspired by Sean's. He had made an amazing donation with his partner to Mount Sinai, a $21 million gift and donation. We were very inspired by that, and we're trying to do something as well for Canada and for the healthcare space. So yes, we're going to be making it here in Canada. We've done our research and development here in Canada as well.
So what's involved? That's going to be costly. It's a regulatory burden of setting up a factory is obviously big.
Yeah.
How much will you have to invest roughly? Can you give us a ballpark?
So we've partnered with a number of great companies. We've partnered with existing manufacturing sites. So our commercial manufacturing partner will be a great company called Applied Pharmaceutical Innovation, API, based out of Edmonton. They're a firm that was bolstered by government investment several years ago to make sure that Canada, as we found out during the pandemic, we had a bit of a gap in terms of our homegrown manufacturing. And so they got an infusion of about $98 million from multi-levels of government to build out a critical medicines manufacturing facility. So we're actually very proud to be the first product that's going to be coming off that line, if everything goes according to plan, in late 2026.
So you'll contract the actual manufacturing to them?
Yeah, to a great Canadian company. They're set up as a not-for-profit. They redeploy their profits back into the R&D sector in Canada. So it's a really nice kind of virtuous cycle for Canada, and we're able to retain a lot more of the economic velocity around this product in our country. And I see as the exclusivity starts to lapse around this product and generics start to enter the market, you could see a product that's used by maybe 1 million Canadians suddenly being used by millions more, because there's actually, if you believe, 8 to 9 million Canadians who could benefit from this product, that they have type 2 diabetes and or obesity. So the market is quite large. We're only addressing a small segment, even though it's being used by 1 million Canadians. I think that the potential is phenomenal. And wouldn't it be great if we could keep, again, more of that economic velocity, here in Canada at this time in particular?
One thing so the crucial thing here was the sustained release of the drug compared to the short-lived life of the hormone in the body.
Yes.
And you, of course, you have trained in biochemistry. You're also a patent lawyer, so you cover the bases here.
I do. Yeah, my original passion was in science. I studied biochem specialist at U of T. Did some research, and then went on to do some patent litigation. I was on the other side of generic companies like Dr. Barry Sherman at Apotex, et cetera, and then moved over to Novo Nordisk in Canada and worked there for over a decade at that great Danish company.
What was it like working for the Danes? They're known as doing things in a set way.
I feel like this is inspired by the Danish dress code and the executive
informality.
It's great. I mean, I was inspired by many trips to Copenhagen. Amazing culture. It's phenomenal. A country of around 5-6 million people, but they're able to be home to companies like Maersk, like Novo Nordisk, like Lego, like Leo, like Lundbeck, these amazing companies. And, we're not there yet. Novo Nordisk is actually a 100-year-old company that was founded when the founders came to Toronto and met with Banting and Best and took a license to commercialize insulin back to Scandinavia. So we're really hoping to try to establish the beginnings of maybe a first 100 years of Vimy Pharma for the benefit of Canada and for Canadians.
I presume, and I don't know if I can draw you on this, that Lilly and Novo Nordisk will come up with some strategy to try to convince people, well, we make the original.
That's a good question for Eli Lilly and for my former colleagues at Novo Nordisk. But I think there's a place, honestly, Andy, for both. There's a number of other generics, such as Sandoz, Taro, Teva, all these companies, Israeli companies, Swiss companies, who are also looking to enter the race here in Canada. So I'm sure everyone's going to be fighting, but I do think that the market is really big enough for everyone, and to the benefit of Canadians. If we can bring those prices down and generate more access, I think that would be tremendous for the country. I mean, we are a publicly funded healthcare system. Let's try to reduce on a population level some of those downstream effects.
And that is important, of course. We're very tight for time. Can you give us an idea dollar-wise of how much you've raised or how much you think you will invest? Any kind of ballpark?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the multi-millions of dollars that we've raised from a number of parties. Again, our biggest investor there is K2, and Charlie Connor's been awesome to work with over there as our lead.
There's so much I want to ask you. One thing, though, some people don't tolerate it very well, the semaglutide. They get nausea. Roughly what percent of patients does that come up in? Yeah,
this does happen in a small percentage of patients. It's been proven and studied over millions of patient years. But it's very safe on a long-term basis. There are some transient effects. So when you first start taking the medicine, and this is why you kind of work your way up in terms of the dosing, to try to not run straight head on into those effects, which tend to disappear after a little while.
Fascinating stuff, Dave. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Andy.
Dave Suchon, co-founder and CEO of Vimy Pharma.